Y'all, this is Pam at Pink Dragonfly Wingz, and I am going to try one more time to do a video on how to make this little piece of ephemera. Okay, now I did one. I think this was my prototype. I did one, and then I did a video to make this one. And the camera quit working about halfway through, and I didn't know the camera had quit working, so I just kept on going. So I couldn't use that video. So there was the second one. Then I made a third video and used this one, and everything, you could see everything up here, but nothing down here. So I'm going to try it one more time, and if it doesn't work this time, I'm just going to think that this thing is not meant to be, and I'm going to do something else. But for right now, we're going to give it one more try. Okay? So what this is a little, let's say this is your page in your journal. This is going to fit over the corner and kind of hang there as a kind of a, I guess, a pocket tuck, maybe. I'm not real sure what to call it, but that's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it a pocket tuck. And the way that it's supposed to be, this is the card. Let me lay this down here. This is the journaling card here. There we go. There is that. And this image is the same image as this. So when you put the card back in there, what you're doing is you're getting the edge of this piece of paper that I cut off. I hope that makes sense. So it makes it look like it's a continuous piece of paper. So I'm going to try some different kinds of paper this time, and I'm going to see how it works. So there we go. But then when you turn the page, you have this on the back side. And it's got a tag here and a little tag here. So this little part is the part I cut off from the bottom of the envelope. Yay! That's what we're going to do today. All right, so we're going to try it one more time. And we're going to do it this time. But I'm going to put this one right up here so I can still see it. So it's going to give me inspiration to do it right. All right, here's our envelope. I've already stuck the back together. You want it sealed. And this is my template to cut out the piece of paper on the front, because those two windows are the same size. So that's what we're going to do. And this is the paper that I am going to use. And I have it down here. I think this is it. I don't think that's it. I think this one must be it. It's Paper Studio Bright Vintage. And I got these on sale at Hobby Lobby for 40% off. And so I got those. And they're one-sided. So from time to time, I found there for a while, I always needed double-sided 6x6 paper. And then, excuse me, I have to wipe my eyes. My allergies are so bad. Anyway, so then I found that there are a lot of things that double-sided paper is wasting the back side. So I bought some that's one-sided, and that's what we're going to use today. All right, so here we go. Now, I've already decided that I want this little dragonfly in that window. Why would I want a dragonfly in the window? I don't know, because I'm weird. I love dragonflies. But this is what we're going to do. So the first thing that we're going to do is I am going to cut this envelope off this length. So I'm going to put a little mark right here. And that is taking, this envelope was originally, let me put the original measurements here. It is a little over maybe 3 7/8 inches wide by right at 9 inches long. So I'm going to cut off a little bit, and I'm going to cut it at 5 1/2. And the reason that now these I only cut at 5. Okay, these were only 5 inches. But if you'll notice, the window here of the envelope is close to the edge. It's close to the end there. On this one, it's a little further apart from the top down. So I still need to get in here. If I go back up an inch, half an inch, I'm cutting that off right at the bottom of the window. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to cut off the window. So the length really doesn't matter, because I do most of my journals that are 6 inches wide by 9 inches tall. So as long as it's not over 9 inches, it's going to be fine. So I decided to increase the size of this just a little bit so that I would have room for that, not cut off my little window. So I'm just going to cut that. This is what we're going to use for the back pocket in a minute, so we're not going to get rid of that. We're going to use this. Now, this is the side that we sealed together. This is the side that I want open. So I'm going to lay it down here and cut a smidgen. And I mean a smidgen. That's a smidgen off, so that it will open up this side. So now I have the bottom open and the side open, which is going to, let's put it on a colored paper, which is going to allow me to put this in here like that. Okay, does that make sense? Then we'll have decoration on this side. We'll have decoration on this side, plus we're going to put our pocket back here. And I'll have to cut that down a little bit because it's the same width, and I want it to be a little smaller. But we'll deal with that when we get to that. All right, so here we go. So we're going to take this little piece right here, and I want this little dragonfly, and I turn the paper sideways. It's oriented to be this way. So all of the words and all of that are printed to go this way. But I want the dragonfly to be this direction. So it's my book, it's my paper. I can do what I want to. So I turned it, and I'm going to put this right here. And I am going to get my knife, my little cutting knife, and I'm going to cut out this window. You can see here, I've already taken out the acetate here. I don't need that on here. I need the window. And I need the window to be the same size as this window. But I'm leaving the acetate in this window. Okay. So there we go. Let's get this set again. And I'm going to put it about like yay. And then I'm going to turn this a little bit. And I'm going to cut this little piece of paper around this window very carefully. And around this side very carefully. We don't want to cut ourselves. Okay. And then I'm going to try to go around this corner, this little rounded corner here. And come over here. And then we'll do this one up here. Now, I can tell you it didn't cut through all the way. That's fine. It did enough that I can see where the cut is. And that's what I want. I didn't want it to go through so hard that it kind of bunched up my paper here. I'm looking for my little scissors. So if you see them somewhere, go, hey, they're over there. Let's see. I didn't want to have to use these great old big ones, but oh, there they are. Okay. So I am going to cut this. Go ahead and finish cutting it out as soon as I can find a spot that's open. There we go. Now my lines are in here, so all I'm going to do is follow the line that my knife made to begin with. So be patient. I have to concentrate when I'm cutting. Cutting is not one of those things I do very well. So I'm going to cut and cut and cut. One more little round. And we're going to get it. We are going to get it cut out. There we go. Now we're going to save this piece because who knows what we may need another dragonfly for. Now, when I put my paper, I know you're like, why did you cut the dragonfly out? Okay, well, I only wanted this paper to cut out the window because then I'm going to take this piece of paper and put it on my card, and I'm going to put that in the window. Is that not cute? That is cute. I like it. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to glue this onto my envelope, not my template. I'm done with the template. That's all you need that for, is just to cut out that window. So we're going to take this and we're going to glue it down on the front right here like this. Okay? Before we do that, of course, we have to ink. Now, if you don't like to ink, that's fine. You don't have to ink. But I like it inked. So I'm going to go around this window with my vintage photo just so that it's covering up any little areas where I didn't cut straight. I mean, I know I can't imagine me not cutting straight, but this will take care of any imperfections in my cutting. So I just need it to be really right there around the window. And then I'm going to wipe off the acetate. I don't necessarily need that to be brown. And then I'm going to go in here, excuse me, and go around the window to also, for the same reason, between this and this, it is going to cover up any imperfections in my cutting and make it not look like a 2-year-old cut it. So there we go. And then I'm going to just put a little ink out here just to kind of, you know, grunge it up a little bit. Now then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on this envelope. Not this, because I don't know where the edges are. And what I cut off, I can use for something else if I don't glue it and get it all messed up. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to put our glue on here. And I'm using art glitter glue. And I'm going to hope that it stays unstuck. I don't know if any of y'all have had a hard time with using art glitter glue. It is great glue and I love it. I use it all the time. It is one of my 2 go-to glues. But boy, this little nubbin will clog up in a second. And then I have to keep putting, and then I can't see the little hole. So I have to keep taking my glasses off and on. Anyway, we'll put this all on here. Get it glued down really nicely. Now, the hard part is getting this paper on this paper where it's supposed to be. All right, here we go. We are going to lay it down as straight as we can do. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to get my little bone folder here and really spread that glue out so that it will spread out to the edges. I want the edges to be really glued down because it's going to get a lot of wear and tear. So there we go. Then we're going to turn this over, and I can see that I didn't get it exactly even. But, oh well, when is anything I do even? All right, we're going to get our scissors, and we're just going to cut right along the edge. Now, be careful. Kind of cut at an angle like this to come under the envelope so you don't cut your envelope open. We don't want this side open. this side is the side that we need to be, we need it to stay closed. We need it to stay glued together. This side right here. Okay? Then we're going to also do the same thing up here because we do not want the top cut open either. Now this side, not quite so iffy because we've already cut this side open anyway. And then we'll just trim up this. Well, goodness gracious. I think I'll cut that off with my straight edge so that I can make sure that it's really straight. All right, so there we go. Now then, we want to go back with our ink and ink around the edges. Now, you can round these edges if you would like, or use a decorative punch on them, however you want to do that. We can do that. In fact, let's round this because I know that I round the corner of the card. So we're just going to round this on these two sides only. This side doesn't matter. If you want to, you could do it that way, but it doesn't really seem to have a point. So, my nose. I tell you, I had forgotten how bad I had allergies in Texas until I moved back. And they're just driving me nuts. All right, so there's the front of our little pocket tuck, doobie-dobby, whatever we want to call that. Now, I am going to put this green on the back. And I am going to cut off the edges because I don't really like this extra color on the edge. So I'm going to just kind of glue it on here and then just cut it off. And then we're going to use this to make the pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. And I'm going to glue with my handy dandy little art glitter glue thingy mabob here that seems to be, at least, yeah, just as I get ready to praise it, it sticks again and gets clogged up. I don't understand. It clogs up so fast. All right, let's try it again. There we go. For a little while. There we go. We got it. We got it cooking now. Okay. And then we're going to turn this. This is not directional, so it doesn't really matter. I do happen, one of the sides is a little darker than the other, and I like the darker side, so I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to put it down here and hope that, well, I didn't even get it close to straight. All right, we're going to do it again, and hopefully it's a little straighter this time. I don't know what happens sometimes. All right, then we're going to trim this off as well. Now, on a couple of these others, I used a wraparound piece of paper, a piece of paper that was long enough to do both the front and the back. So you can see here that this paper is the same as what you, doesn't really matter, you can't see it very well back here, but it wrapped around like this. And so I took it and went like this and put it on the front. But this one I wanted them to be a little different. So I'm going to just cut this off right here. And we may use these little strips for something, so I'm not going to throw them away. You know, we're junk journalers. We don't throw anything away. I've got my family where they say, are we throwing this piece of trash away or are we keeping it? And most of the time I'm keeping it. And they say, of course we are. And there you go. That's my life. Now then, I have that cut. I'm going to have to kind of trim up a little bit here. Oh, goodness gracious. I thought I'd cut my top off. Okay, here we go. We're going to ink this around. this is going to be the back. This is what's going to be on the other side of our paper. So we're going to put our paper in here. We're going to have this on this side with the card we're going to put in it in a minute. This is going to be on the back side. And we're going to take this little pocket that I put, and where did I put it? Right here. This is it. And like I say, it fits exactly. I don't want it to be exact. I want to be able to see a little bit here. So I think I'm going to cut a little bit of this open, and then we'll use it as a pocket. So now that means that I'm going to have to glue one side back together, but that's okay. We can do that. We can do that. Relatively simple to do. And so I'm just going to cut this off. And now it is going to fit on here a lot better, I think. Okay, so we're going to do this part. Throw that in the trash. And what was I going to do? I have no idea. I'm going to take this off of here before I mess up that piece of paper, for one thing. And I am going to get my glue and very carefully go right down the side of this. Now that is going to take a little bit of the width from the size of tag I can put in there, but that's okay. That's okay. I could make that work. Okay, so we're just gluing that little side down because we want it to be a pocket. Now, if you wanted to, you certainly could leave that open and make this a tuck as well. That's cool too, but I wanted it to be a pocket. Okay, so let's let that dry for just a second. And let's go ahead and get our paper here. And I don't really know. I think this little corner right down here will work perfectly. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Not going to worry about the back because the back is going to be glued onto here. So we're not going to have to worry about that. So we're just going to glue right around here. And we're going to get our glue. Let's put this right here. We're going to put our paper right down here in this corner so that we can save as much of this paper as we can. Okay. Let's spread our glue around. And then we're going to pull this up and cut this off. Right here very carefully. We don't want to cut our pocket open again. Not as careful up here because this is the top and it's already cut open. So we should be good with that. Alright, so we're going to save that little piece of paper. And we're going to open up our little pocket here. Make sure. And we're going to put a thumb thingy. Let's make sure we've got it in the center. Okay, so 3.5. So that looks like the center. Close enough for me anyway. Put this down in here. I need to let that glue dry, but we'll do that while we're making our tags. And I'm going to snip that out. Now, if you notice, I did not put the thumb punch in here until I put the paper on here. And part of the reason for that is because I went side to side with the paper. So I want this to be side to side as well. Had I left, you know, like if I had put this paper on here and left a little white edge around, then I would have wanted to have a little white edge around here. That's the reason that I did it like this, okay? And we may need one of these little pieces, so we're not going to hang too much. I'm going to put you right there. Now, we are going to ink and go right on around. again, if you want to ink up or do the corner punches, now's the time to do it, but I'm not going to do it on this one. I want this one to fit on here square. And then we'll do our little thumb punch here. All right, now we could take this little window and put this little dragonfly right there. That would be kind of cute, but the little hole is not quite big enough to see him all. So, I don't know. What else have we got? We have a little butterfly here. We could put some little butterfly on here. That might work. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut it a little bit here. We're going to cut it a little bit here. I don't measure. That's probably why things are never straight, but that's okay. I'm going to cut this off, and I'm going to cut this off. And I'm going to put you over here in case we need you again. And then we're just going to cut off a little bit of this top so that our butterfly can fit right there. We need to cut off a little bit more. Okay, we're going to put this right here. And our little butterfly is just going to peek out right there. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to put this in here. Make sure I get it right side up again. And then we'll put a little glue on here. And this is just so that we don't have that blaring white semicircle right there. We're going to put this right here on the edge. Come on the edge. There we go. And then we will ink right along this edge a little bit. There we go. Well, we really can't see much of the butterfly, but we can just see him peeking out. So that's kind of cool. All right, we're going to take this and we're going to put this on here. Now, we are only going to do this side, and this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my little double stick tape and run it around here. And then this is a pocket. Y'all have seen me do this before when I'm not going to use it right now to put in a book. I put this on here as like a little memory thing to me that, oh, that is supposed to be a pocket. So don't glue the whole thing down. That's just kind of my way of reminding myself. Now that I'm 70, I have a hard time remembering sometimes. I'm going to pull this off. And I am going to, before I put that on there, I'm going to measure this from so if I make it less than 3 inches, it'll fit in there. Okay. And then I'm going to put just a little dab of glue right here on top of the tape, just because I don't always trust the tape to stay forever. And then we're going to glue it right down on here. Now all of these papers match because they all came, you know, from the same paper collection, so they're all going to match fine. And I did this first because I want this glue to have time to adhere on here before I have to stick my tags down in there, because if I don't, sometimes they get stuck in the pocket. So, all right, we have our envelope made, and now we're ready to work on our tags. So I'm going to get us a little piece of paper here, and I am going to stick this in here. This is going to be our front tack, and it is going to stick out a little bit, remember. So we're going to run it about right there. It's about, might need to go just a little bit more. Let's see, about that much. Scoot it over just a little bit, and then we're going to cut it off right there. Alrighty, we're going to cut this off. Put you over there. We'll use you again in a minute. And then we're going to cut you off. And we may use you in a minute. Okay. So let's make sure this is going to work the way we want it to. And it is perfect. So this is going to stick out a little bit, right? Because we're going to get our little dragonfly. And we want our little dragonfly to fit in this window. And I'm going to have to cut some off over here. But that's okay. That's okay. So we're going to cut off about maybe that much. Okay. So we'll cut this off. Oh, it's always scary when you have to cut off something. Let's cut off just a little tad more. All right, now is our dragonfly going to fit in our window like we want it to? And yes, it is. It's going to fit right in there while the card is put in. All right, so we're going to take this and we are going to line that up, and we're going to glue that down to this card. Okay, does that make sense? We're going to take this little glue dobby and we're going to go right around here, put some glue in here, and we are going to put it up here in this corner, even with the paper. Make sure we get it even as we can anyway. Okay. All right, and then we're going to trim this paper. Trim this little thing up and cut our paper off just to even with the card. See, I just cannot, no matter what, I cannot cut straight. I just infuriate myself sometimes. Now it may be a little short, but at least it's straight. All right, let's ink it around the edges. We are going to round our little corners here like we did on the outside. I'm going to round that one and round that one. We want this one to remain pointed so it'll fit up in this little pocket right here. All right, now I'm going to ink this up and ink it around. All right, here's the test. We're going to put this in here, up in the corner. There is our edge, and there's our dragonfly. Oh, isn't he cute? That is so cute. And I didn't cut off too much at the bottom. So let's ink this up just a little bit here. All right, there we go. Now, on the back of this, what I'm going to do, and last time I did this ahead of time, let me get one over here. I forgot to get one. Is I use these little guest checks, and I got these on Amazon. So I just pull one off. I am going to use this side because I like the lines that are on here. And what I'm going to do with it is get my ink. This is Distress ink. Let's see if we can open this up a little bit so it's not quite such a mess. It's got a little bit of glue on it, but it won't matter. This is Distress Oxide Spray, and this is Walnut Stain. And you don't want a whole lot of it because this is kind of dark. So you shake it up, and then we're just going to very lightly spray on here. And then I'm going to get my spray bottle of water and spray it. And then I want to dab it so that it's got some character to it, but it's not so dark that we can't see what we're writing. Okay, so that's all there is to that. I'm not going to worry about the other side because it's going to be glued down. We're going to tear off this little thank you part. We don't necessarily need it to say thank you at this point. I'm going to get my little dryer here, and there's not a lot of water on this, so it's not terribly wet, but we don't want it to put it on there wet and then have the glue not react. So we're just going to do this and just put a little bit of heat to it so that it'll dry. That doesn't take very long. That's the main reason I usually did it ahead of time, but I've had people ask me, we'd really like to see how you spray this. So this is how I did it. Very simple, very easy. All right, now I'm going to put this back over here, and this is going to fit in right here. Okay, so we're going to put it right here. Now I'm going to cut it off a little bit down here, and when I had it a little shorter, I cut it off right here at the 17 mark, right below that mark. But this one's a little bit longer, so I'm going to cut just a little, leave it just a little bit longer, and I'm going to cut on that bottom line. There we go. Now, we're going to put this on here. So we're going to have to also round our corners on this side. If I can see well enough to get them on. All right, now we have a decision. We can put this on here and leave it like that. We can ink it around in brown. We could put a little piece of this on here and do it like this. You know, kind of however, kind of like this little piece, because it's got the ink on it, and I like it in that situation. So if we put that one right there, and then we could just put some ink on this side. So I think that's what we'll do. And I think that I will use my Evergreen Bow ink, simply because I think that'll match this green the best. So I'll get my little nubbin thingy here, not that one, this one, put it on here, and we'll just ink this edge up. And then we'll ink it up on the bottom. Ink it up on the top. We don't have to really worry too much about the side because that's where we're going to put the piece of green. But let's do it anyway, just to be sure. So we'll put that there, put that lid back on, and we'll glue this little piece right here down to the edge. Okay, so we're going to put it right here on the edge. And it's kind of cool. It has some of the edges of the flowers cut off from the top. So we will cut this off right here so it'll fit in our little cutter thingy better. Actually, it still has glue on it. I think I'll try to cut it with my scissors and have it go around instead of trying to put it back in that little corner punch, because then I'll get glue on the corner punch. Alright, so there we go. That worked pretty good. Pretty good. Now then, no, you stay there. We could have probably put another little piece of this under there, and that would have been cute too. We don't have it to go under there, but we could put it like that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I think I'm going to just do it like this. Yeah, I think I'll just do it like that. We could put it on this side, but I don't like that because then there's nothing on the top and bottom. I do kind of like it being over here though. And if we put that right there, all right, let's go for it. Let's put it on there. So I'm just going to cut a little strip off, about like the other strip. And then we'll just put this up right next to this one. And it'll kind of look like it was underneath. So we'll do that. Put that on here. And it would have been nice if I'd have thought of doing that before I cut it already one time, but oh well, I didn't. So at least we don't have to go around the corner. We just have to go here. All right, I kind of like that idea. Now then, we will ink this up. If I can get that off of my fingers. We will ink this up with the brown because we want it to be this different. And since we put the green ink on there, if we put the green ink on this, then you're not going to be able to see the edge. So I don't like that idea. So we're going to ink it in brown. Some glue on it. And my little glue nubbin has done really, really good today. So here we go. All right, we're going to scoot this right here so we can see both pieces of paper. And let's try real hard to get you even. And there we go. Now we have a journaling card, and we have some lines on it. Now if you wanted to put something up here in this corner, you certainly could, because that's going to stick out of your pocket. Okay, so that's going to fit in there like that. So if you wanted to put something there, you could do that without causing a big to-do. And there's our little dragonfly in our window. Isn't he cute? All right, that takes care of our tag and our envelope, and we have two tags back here. So let's see what we've got here. And well, let's use this because I'm gonna have to cut two. And we said it needed to be less than 3 inches. So I think we'll probably do about, well, let's do 3 and then see how it fits in this pocket. Okay, it's probably gonna, I don't know, that's pretty tight. It would fit back here. Pretty, not great. We're going to cut off and make it 2 3/4. So we'll do 1 2 3/4, and we'll do 2 2 3/4. And let's see, I'm going to need to cut the top off a little bit. So we're going to put this one down in here. Let's put this one back here. And that's going to fit down in there just fine. And we will cut off about, how's that going to work? Yeah. All right, let's cut off this much and see where we go. Now we'll use this one in the back because it's taller. Still might cut off a little bit. We'll have this one down in here. And so they're kind of staggered a little bit. Alrighty, but I'm going to cut just a little bit off of the top of this, just because I think it's a little bit too long. Not going to measure, just going to eyeball it. Okay. Once again, we're going to round our corners because they're rounded on our pocket, and I'm going to round the bottoms as well. It seems to me to make them go in a little better. I don't know if it does, but I think it does. So there we go. And then what we did on this other one, what did we do? We made a belly band. I remember. We're going to use our dragonfly right here. See, I knew he would come in handy. We're going to make him a belly band. That's what we're going to do. But we are going to kind of even this up just a little bit because it's really, I don't know if y'all can tell in the camera, but it is really crooked. So let's kind of even that up a little bit. Well, that didn't help just a whole lot. I think it made it straight, but it's still crooked. So we don't want to cut very much off of you. So there we go. And we really don't need that cornered. So we're going to put you just like that. We're going to ink it up. If I can find my ink. And we're going to put, let's see, a little strip right here. And turn it over. We'll put a little strip of glue right here. We will cut this off. Now you know why we never throw away our little scraps. You can throw them away when you get finished, but you can always use them for something. Alright, so now we can ink around our little journaling card here. We're going to make another one of these. Oh, that's going to have to be a little narrower. So we're going to have to make a little narrower one. Let's use one of these little pieces because this one fits in the front and this one is going to have to fit right here. So we'll cut that. And cut that right here. Do our rounder. And this now increased our tags by 1 because with this little piece is going to have 2 tags in it. Of course, we could put 2 tags on the other one as well if we wanted to. I haven't decided what I'm going to put on here. I may put flowers on it since this has a lot of, oh goodness, since this has a lot of florals in it already. And we'll put you right in here if you'll go. Yeah, it's pretty snug. I might need to trim off just a little tad. Let's trim off just a little tad, just to make sure. Which means we'll have to do our circles, our corners again. And we'll have to ink this side again. But that's all right. Yeah, I think it'll slide down in there much better. Oh, yeah. There we go. We have a little double tag there. And he goes in the back. Then we'll ink this one and put it in the front. And maybe we'll put some papers on it or some stickers on it or some flowers on it or whatever you want to put on it to decorate. And we're going to put this right in here. So there we go. Now we have 3 little tags there. Alrighty. So we've got our tag with our belly band, but they won't know that it has a belly band until they pull it out. We have this tag. You decorate the front of this, decorate the front of this, and we are done and ready to go. So there we go. Now we could decorate this. I don't know how long this video is, but we can decorate it pretty quickly with something. I don't know. That doesn't really float my boat. So let's see about this. And I use this little piece of lace a lot. I must really like this. Okay, so we're going to put a little piece of lace here. And I've used these little stamps. Well, they're not little stamps, they're huge. But, oh, I'm going to keep that piece of ribbon out because we might put a, oh, well, it's all unfolded now. We may put a little bit on the back. And they're pretty good size little stamps here. But I kind of like that there already. Let me take my glasses off and flip through here really quickly and see. Mushrooms don't really work. Now here's a little fairy. That's cute. That's very cute, but it's going to cover up my words. Did I use all of those words on everything else? I guess I probably did. That has no words. I guess I had to use it on both of them. but that would have been cute to put a little. But what we might do is put it on this side. There we go. Let's put it on that side and leave our words on the front. So let's do this. We're going to ink it up. Now these stickers are glossy, so they don't take to the ink too well. I think they may do okay after they've dried a little bit, but they're stickers. If I can get the back off. This is when you wish you had fingernails, but I chew mine off, so. All right, come on, I've almost got you. There we go. And then I think just to have it match the front, maybe we'll put a little piece of lace here with this over here. I still like it down here. All right, let me put you right there. Let's cut this off. Put you over there and put you over there. Let's get our fabric tack and put a little bit of glue on the back of this piece of lace here. I think it has little grapes on it. It's really pretty. And just going to run that right across there and put that on. And then we'll take, oh no, I lost my sticker. Good gracious sakes in the morning time. There we go. Oh, it has little nubbins stuck to it now. Okay, and I'm going to put just, oh, it's got all kinds of nubbins. Felt and a little piece of green paper from our green paper here. All right, there's a little nubbin too, but I guess you're not going to hurt nothing. Yeah, you'll drive me crazy, so let's get you off. All right, we're going to put you right like that. There we go. So you don't have to decorate a whole lot, just whatever you want to do. And let's see if we have a little word back here that we can find. Let's see. Fresh air and sunshine. I don't know. That might work. That works. That works for me. Alright, then we have this little piece. And this little piece will come over here. We already have some words. I'm not going to put words on that side because we don't want too many words. This is not a lecture. And we're going to get this and ink it up a little bit. Just a little bit. Wonder how it would look to put that on there with that little bug. It's a bug. I don't know what kind of bug, but we're going to see. Alright, we're going to put you on here. And put, oops, let's try putting it upside down. That works, doesn't it? Everybody wants to stand on their head and read. Alright, we'll put you on here, and then we'll just very gently tear you out a little bit. Very slightly, and then put our little bee or bug or wasp or whatever it is on there. We'll put you right like that. So we're going to ink you up. There we go. Put a little bit of glue on here. Put you on here. And we have that side done. And then we'll put this little piece of lace right up here. And let's see if we have a little butterfly. Have a little bitty butterfly. Let's see, maybe an orange butterfly. He doesn't show up very much. Oh, here's a green one. That would work. Oh yeah. So he matches the dragonfly. So there we go. We'll put him on here. Come on. Alright, so we've got this. And we will put you like that. Since our ribbon is tilted. And we are done. Oh. And we are done. Sure we are. Okay. As long as the butterfly doesn't stick to your fingers, you're done. There we go. Now we have finished. So now we're done with this. We've got our tags. We've got 1, 2, 3, and then we have our big journaling tag on the back. And we are finished. Now, if this bothers you that this is white, you can certainly go along the edge of this and kind of ink it up a little bit. It doesn't really bother me because most of the time the card is going to be in there and it's not going to be an issue, but that's certainly something you can do. And there you go. And then when you get it ready for your journal, you're going to go right behind your card and put it in the corner of your page. And there you go. You've got that page decorated as well as this page. Decorated 2 pages in 1. So there we go. All right, that's it for today. And as long as the video came out okay, we're going to post this. If not, you're never going to see it anyway, and I'm going to throw it away and start something else. So let's see how it works. All right. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. We are really going to, we're moving right along with getting subscribers, and so I really want to do something cool when we reach 1,000 subscribers. So help us get there, and if you have any cool ideas about something really spectacular that we could do to celebrate, put it in the comments down below, and we'll try to do something. We're going to do something cool. And check out my online store, www.my.Pink Dragonfly Wingz with a Z on the end.com, and see if we have anything in there that you just can't live without. And that's it until next time. So until next time, you be creative too. See you then. Bye-bye.